Where are we going?
Embry Square. Colonel Hoffman's waiting for us.
Hoffman? Oh, shit. This is gonna be awesome.
When you're building what is to be a compelling single-player experience of the story arc of where these guys are going and what they're experiencing and what they're going through, the biggest concern was pacing, as far as the player getting a good lump of combat and then taking that lump of combat and switching it up with putting Krill in the scenario and then introducing a new enemy such as the Wretches and kind of allowing the player to enjoy the core combat loop of cover gameplay and then taking it away from him and having him drive a vehicle or go into a section where he's exploring and finding cog tags and whatnot. Just keep changing the pacing as the storyline kind of builds and builds and builds to its epic climax. So you want to have good pacing so that hook is in the player's mouth and you're constantly reeling them along and making sure it feels like this kind of roller coaster ride start to finish so that they do finish the game, because ultimately we do want people to finish the single player campaign.
Well, multiplayer was a surprise for everyone. I mean, we were actually arguing about not bringing multiplayer to E3 because at the time it was seen by the team who was too close to it. It felt too simplistic.
But at the same time, we found that multiplayer in the Gears universe with the whole cover dynamic is a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I think a lot of people were expecting. And so once we got that up and running and people kind of found how much fun it was to play, we started pushing it more and more.
We had a lot of bad maps originally when we were just trying to find what exactly makes multiplayer fun. And when we finally started hitting on kind of an open feel with rows of cars in a street where you can see the enemies and you can make sure if this guy's going to flank me, I can see that guy flanking me. He's not just going to magically appear next to me. And the moment we started opening this stuff up, it became a game. It was just night and day over the early just random buildings that we had been mimicking more from first-person shooters of other types of genres that we really hit on, and we could find that we had something cool and different because we could make these environments that probably wouldn't have worked very well in other games, but for us, they're perfect and they provide the player a new experience. We meshed out an old level that was one of our early prototypes of an open level. A bunch of art love went into lighting, banging and polishing on it, and we pretty much pulled together the multiplayer map for E3 that was wildly successful by all press comments in about 8 days. It was wild.
But the things like Down But Not Out and the reviving and the weapon field and the map and the roadie run and the weight of the characters and getting in and out of cover and just the way the entire game felt was so unique that you didn't need crazy game mechanics like double flips or anything like that. It was enough that what was there was interesting. And then you've got something new here, and it's like that was shocking to me that's how people were interpreting it. That the feel of the game outside of we need to come up with crazy stuff, that just taking basic movements and making them intuitive and making it easy to get in and out of cover and giving a weight to that would slam into the door and the weight of the characters moving, the camera movement, that was enough. That people that kind of gameplay with those kinds of controls and feelings it made it a totally unique experience. And so we walk away from E3 with best online multiplayer game of show, and you're like, oh crap, we better look, we gotta put some more effort into this.
They get a multiplayer experience that's out of this world, a single player experience that's beyond what they've played before, and be able to go in there and fight monsters with your buddies is something I'm looking forward to.